Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Or gentlemen and ladies. You know, it's always got to be ladies first. In today's world, where everything is upside down and inside out, why don't we say gentlemen and ladies? Or whatever else it might be in between, you know? We got a lot of in-betweeners out there now because we're creating a multitude of genders in our world today, which is a beautiful thing, really. It is the age of Aquarius, after all, and Aquarius is all about, expression in all types of forms. So maybe we shouldn't be so downtrodden on the trans community and let them express themselves as however they would like to do so. I think it's a beautiful thing. Let people be. I'm really big on this, seriously, just to say before I start anything, because since I've just said that, right? I'm really big on letting anybody be whatever they want to be. You know, to me, I think it's a beautiful thing. Express yourself however you want to express yourself. But the thing that I don't like in general is how our world tries to create agendas out of it and push things on people, and force it down our throats and make it, part of the, they turned it into like a pop culture commercial, thing, which quite honestly is always a detriment to any of the groups, whether it be the trans community, the gay community in general, whatever minorities, especially African Americans, they perpetuate all this stuff and they make it more difficult, on all these people, basically by, trying to turn everything into like some sort of misguided agenda instead of just allowing people to be who they are. So I'm sorry, I don't know why I just went and said all that for 2 minutes. Absolutely no rhyme or reason or any applicability to what I'm talking about today. Hey-o. How you guys feeling out there? I hope you're doing good. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. If you did. If you didn't, it's okay too. Don't forget to drop some comments in the comments while we're here and let me know what you're thinking and how you're doing out there today. I am Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host. I am broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home. I'm seeing no data. No data. This has happened before. So last time that this happened, my YouTube was saying no data was being received, and it seemed like a chunk. Oh, here we go. Now we got excellent condition. But when I see no data, sometimes it show when I go back and watch the video, a chunk was missing. So I don't know if we missed anything, but it says excellent condition now. So here we are. The YouTube might be in excellent condition. I don't know what kind of condition I am. Mentally, I know it's not too good. What kind of condition are you in out there? Let me know in the description box below. But once again, I'm Pete Palma. I'm your user-friendly host. And this, of course, is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And one of the most important questions I like to ask each and every episode, if I remember to do so, is what are you doing out there to create your own flow of quo today? Let me know down in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen, because what you're doing out there is important to me too. Let me fix my shirt a little bit. I feel like it's hanging. There we go. I'm still messing with the different colors. I stopped with the black t-shirt as of last week. I got into wearing different shirts. It's nice to put something different on instead of always being in the black, being dark and hiding in the shadows, right? We don't do that here in Operation Status Quo. We're all about expressing ourselves, being our true selves, and and being happy. That's what it's all about. Blue is much happier than black, and that's nothing against black. Please don't call me racist. It's just the shirt. I prefer the color blue. Thank God there are no blue people out there. Otherwise, unless you're sad, then I guess you can be blue in a way, in a mood. But if there were actually blue-skinned people out there, I'm sure we'd have a whole nother movement for, rights, rights and equality. So, all right. Anyway, today, I don't know what I'm talking about. What the hell is wrong with me? Let me know in the comments below what's wrong with me if you can figure it out, because I've been working on it for a long time and I'm still not sure. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today is the 24th of January in the good year 2024, and today's program is entitled A War Story. That's right. Obviously we're in the midst of some wars once again here on beautiful planet Earth, as we seem to always be. It's to me, I never, just to say as a baseline, I don't understand the concept, period, of these type of entanglements and such, like why we want to blow stuff up. Even the mindset of humanity to want to build things to destroy things, right? It's just like kind of a weird thing to me. I guess like you can, build explosives and dynamite or something if you have to blow into the side of a side of a mountain or something to make a road. I don't know. Like maybe you need explosives, but the fact that we just, create missiles and ships to blow things up and planes that drop bombs on people. And, it's just a very odd thing to me. Who goes about their day thinking about who they got to blow up and destroy? It doesn't really make any sense, right? But, hey, that's a whole nother kind of story in a way. But what caught my attention about, and this concept of what I'm talking about here today, was last night, I believe it was on World News when I was flipping through. They had Martha Raddatz. Is that her? That old, boosh, she didn't look too good. I look at everybody now because of everything that's come out. I'm going back to the trans thing again, but everything that's come out about, we don't really know who's women and who's men out there. Like if you go down some of the rabbit holes, there's plenty of stories of stuff like, Bill and Melinda Gates. Bill's actually the woman, and she and Melinda was actually a man, and same thing with Obama, right? Michelle was actually Michael. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on that. And then there's even stuff like with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, they say, is actually a biological woman. I mean, it's like crazy, right? I don't know. I'm not speaking on that as an expert in any way whatsoever, but I don't even know why the hell did that pop up? Because what was I talking about? Oh, Martha Raddatz. Yeah, I went because now that I know this, right? Now that I've seen all these people go down these rabbit holes of all these different celebrities and such, they say Jennifer Aniston is a man. I mean, it's just out of control, right? So who knows? But the long story short here is that Martha Raddatz, if you want to go down the line, if she's not biologically a man, she may be an alien. She does look like some sort of, if you look at her facial structure and stuff, you ever notice like some of these people, they don't look human in their facial structure and their eyes and everything. So, because there could be like aliens living among us too, right? So just like in the movie They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper, right? You think they're human, but they're really not. You put the glasses on and you realize everything around you is a facade. So anyway, who knows? So Martha Raddatz, I digress. What is wrong with me? So Martha Raddatz was interviewing the leader of Iran, whoever he is, right? But the leader of Iran, talking about, do you feel the tension in the Middle East is going to escalate? Are you looking for war? And, he's saying we don't want war, but, things can definitely escalate. And this is after yesterday when they reported that the U.S. Bombed areas within Iraq, I guess some storage facilities of ammunition and missiles and drones and stuff like that. They bombed apparently or whatever. I don't really get into the details of it, but I just find it interesting. When you let me kind of say it and get into it in a way like, when you think about it, like it's how weird is it that you have like a reporter, from the United States, World News, right? Of course, all the media organizations owned by 6 companies. But anyway, in Iran for, this is like such an evil place that we have to fight against the Iranians, right? But she's just there interviewing this guy casually. What do you think? You think you'll, think we'll go to war or blah, 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 blah. And like, I'm thinking to myself, like she's sitting there with this guy, and if he's so evil as they say, and we're on the precipice of war like this, like wouldn't she just be taken hostage, like right there, or you just behead her on the spot to make an example of her, like I mean, like this is what I'm saying. War is bullshit, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Let's just get down to it. It's all, and I say this, obfuscation. I love using that word. It's obfuscation and distraction all the time. And it always has been. If you want to think back, I'm just going to think back through, what I remember growing up. I remember the first Iraq war in like 91 or whatever it was. And we went in there and did that. And I remember, we're bombing them and all this. And then the stories are coming out of, saying that we were bombing baby milk factories. And like, I always thought it was funny because like, they're in Iraq and they're bombing stuff. And the people that are working there have these jackets on that say baby milk factory, on the back of their, like, whatever lab coat or whatever kind of coat they're wearing working in this facility. It says baby milk factory. I'm like, that's pretty interesting that they're in Iraq blowing up stuff and everything's in English. The buildings are, and the stuff on people's clothing is written in English, and it's just like, of course then they're saying, that was propaganda, that we weren't bombing baby milk factories, and that they were, saying that to hide that they were destroying whatever weapons or whatever the hell we were going for over there during the first time we went in. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that it's not like ever really for the cause, right? It's like it's for the agenda of, as I always talk about, keeping humanity dumbed down and enslaved, basically. So under the guise of words like freedom and democracy and independence and all these beautiful thoughts, we go in, especially the United States, the police of the world, who have more bases all over the world than any other country, and just imagine if China had had a base in Hawaii or something. It's just like it's so crazy. Like, it's so obvious that we're bullies in that regard. And this is not to go against the United States per se. I mean, the people, like every country, the people are always good. It's the powers that be. In the United States, through the powers that be, is being used as the military, the force, whatever you want to say. Yeah, basically the force to, enact and keep control in the way that they want to keep control. Like UK is the financial center, and you got the Vatican is part of it, and the United States is the military, component of it. So, just like World War II, I speak on it, they knew what was going on. They purposely bombed Pearl Harbor to drag, kill a bunch of people, drag everybody into it. Same thing with 9/11. They purposely blow up a building, to drag us into this quote unquote thing with Afghanistan for years and years. And, I just think like there's never really a cause, right? There's not, and who suffers at the hands of it, in the name of these things like freedom and peace and prosperity and stuff. And, any true leaders, any people with a level of consciousness, beyond their ego in any capacity whatsoever, would never approach these situations with such, violence and such, and again, just going back to what's going on, like, in Iran, like, let's just think about this. Okay. So war, right? If there's like an intimate, if there's an intimate threat, maybe it's an intimate threat too. You never know. Be careful who you're sleeping with out there. But if there's an imminent threat of danger, or your country's going to be overtaken or blown up or something, right? I don't understand the way we go about war, right? Like, for example, just to go back to this thing with Martha Raddatz. So, yesterday or whatever, we bombed stuff inside Iran. So isn't that like enough provocation? Like, but the leader of Iran is saying, well, it could escalate. We don't want to have war, but we just bombed shit inside your border. Like, we just blew up stuff, and like, isn't that enough to say, all hands on deck? We're gonna take these people out. Like, I don't understand the way they do pick targets, this, that, and the other. Like, if there's really a war and a need, you just go in and wipe everybody out, right? You just go in and blow up everything, and it is what it is. Just like back in the old days, when the Vikings, or, back in Roman times, or whatever, they just go into a city, go into a village, just burn it all down, take it over, rape, plunder, pillage, all that crap. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I mean, it's deplorable, but at the same time, it makes more sense. Like, if somebody's breaking into my house, and if I, just say, had a weapon, I'm not going to like, pussyfoot around, right? And be like, oh, well, maybe, I'm going to, let's see if we can talk this out. Like, somebody's breaking into your house, like trying, like, maybe they have a weapon. Just say somebody breaks into your house with a gun and they're coming in, right? I'm just saying, you're not going to be like, well, let's talk. Maybe I'll just shoot him in the leg, and then maybe we could talk about it and have a treaty, and they just get half of my stuff, like, you're going to kill them, right? I'm just saying, it's like straight to the point. If somebody comes to you and physically tries to threaten you, you're going to take all means necessary to eliminate the threat. And if that means, that the other person goes down, it is what it is. Now, I'm not for any of that. I pray to God that I'm really never in a situation where that develops, because I would really feel badly if I had to kill somebody. It would really ruin my day, but no, there's always ways around it, of course. But I just mean in general, if there's an attack, or if there's a need to defend yourself, like if you're out in the wilderness and a freaking bear attacks you, you're not going to try to negotiate with the bear, or maybe just like, maybe I don't know, blow up the bear's cave or wherever the bear's sleeping. You're not going to go in there and, light a fire and mess up where he sleeps. I mean, the bear's attacking you, right? So you're going to take action, against the bear, hopefully if you can, or I guess your only option really is to run unless you got some bear mace or, a nice shotgun or something on you. But you know what I'm trying to say. So all these wars that go on, it's nonsense. They just kind of pick and choose and they do this little thing and do that little thing, and just, make it like they're fighting this big battle. But, there really isn't a battle to be fought, right? I mean, it's all done, again, on purpose, in the construct of holding, the agenda that they're trying to put forth, whatever that may be. I know, like, if you want to look at it from the United States perspective, and I've spoken on this before regarding, the dollar and other countries trying to get away from it. I mean, is it really, the United States, just trying to, I think it's bigger than that, than just the United States trying to protect, the dollar. Who knows what's really going on too? Like, there's all the stuff with the underground tunnels and the human trafficking, or some of these attacks really aimed at, that. Even with Ukraine, they talked about Ukraine has all these underground biolabs and a lot of stuff that goes on with human trafficking in Ukraine. So is this war more so about eliminating those facets, But at the end of the day, I just think wars overall are a setup and, they're a way to, misguide people well, really, in a way, it's more so to try to create a situation to elicit support, from the general populace so that they can send your sons and daughters and people that you love overseas, to kill other people and possibly be killed too, to fulfill the needs of the agenda, whatever that agenda may be. And the agenda, no matter what, it's not about there's a threat, there's terrorism, there's, threat to democracy, all this crap they say. It's not that, right? It's always force, because there's two things in life, there's power and there's force. And when you do things with power, it comes from a place of center. It comes from your heart. It's authentic, and ultimately, if you're working in the path of those type of frequencies and energies, you don't need big machines to blow people up. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the path of righteousness speaks for itself. And if you're aligned and living within that vibration, then it's going to work itself out. And those that, if there are those out there, just say, that are a nemesis or trying to go down a different way or do something evil, those energies are going to speak for themselves and bring them to a space of demise in a way, because ultimately, love is the only way, not to be over the top, fluffy with it, but, love is the only way. So, I mean, just like Gandhi, Gandhi didn't want to fight, he just sat there and meditated. It's like, it makes no sense. And especially from the perspective of the United States, supposed to be like a world leader in the way that we are and everything, to perpetuate these levels of violence and to occupy other people's countries the way they do over and over again, the agendas they create, the people that they harm, they put in harm's way, just to keep power over others is really an amazing thing. And that's really what war is. I mean, war is just a way, to keep power over, the population. And they create all these different ways of, or all these different things or scenarios, I should say, that are happening that seem so, these evil people are trying to do this and those evil people are trying to do that. And we have to protect the democracy and we have to protect, the ideals of freedom of the United States. We're a world leader, so we have to do. And, nobody wants us there. Ultimately, nobody wants us there. I mean, look at even Iraq. They want us out. They want us out of all the bases that we have there now. Of course they do. Like, why would any country want another country to be infiltrated within their country? I'm just saying. And ultimately it comes down to, we're telling them what to do. It's always about them. Just look at, war and I'm going to say, take it to another step. War is even more so than just sending the ships and the planes and the men. War is economy as well, right? So, it's a multitude of things, but just think about how over time, we've tried to westernize the European countries and such, selling McDonald's and Coca-Cola and all the crap, in all these countries that never really had that stuff before, right? That's a way of trying to change a mindset, right? Of trying to, get everybody on a same type of, path, a same type of social order, no matter what the differences may be in the countries. And they know, like in other countries, especially European countries and such, that have more of a longer longer, a richer history in certain ways, and people that lived more in line with, nature, farming, and different aspects of life like that than we do here in the United States. The United States was, didn't have as much time with all that. We just kind of came in, we built everything up, and then we just started building factories and blowing people up and making Doritos. I got to go back. I got to throw the Doritos in there. I got to do it. Those damn Doritos. Heyo. So, but yeah, that's what I really kind of think, of like, just to be mindful. Like we see all this stuff going on, and it makes us scared. It doesn't make me scared, but I mean, like I know that people will become scared at times, when things are going on in the world that way. And who's this call? Oh, I keep getting this call. How about this? Like, should I answer this? Let's do it. Listen, I'm getting this call from the CD. Oh, no, I missed it. I've been getting these calls from the CDC immunization center or something. I guess they want to have a survey and ask me, about my vaccination status and stuff. Are you getting calls like that, ladies and gentlemen? I just got one. They've been calling, and I haven't answered, but I do think of calling them and telling them, absolutely not. I haven't been, vaccinated. I would never get one of those poison jabs that you guys are trying to put on people. That's another way of war, right? Like they're attacking humanity, surreptitiously through the fake pandemic and then putting out vaccines that poison you. So, it's all part of control. It's all part of fear. It's all the same thing. The main point of what I'm making here today is that war doesn't make sense, because if there's really a threat, you go in and you eliminate the threat. There's not all this, political. There's not all this diplomats, send the diplomats and do. There's nothing going on. The only reason they make war is because a country decides they want to do something outside of the parameters of, what the United States says that they want them to do. And then when that happens, all of a sudden we're against freedom and democracy and we have to go blow people up, So I don't know. That's what I'm talking about here today. So I wouldn't get all wrapped up in the stuff with war. War is just a story, a war story. That's what it all is. It's just a big story, and they do the same thing over and over again. How many times? I mean, just go back through history and look at all the wars we've had, and it's always the same thing. And we're especially like Vietnam and stuff. We're just going in, with our agenda, trying to push what our beliefs or what our way of doing things is on people for, to maintain control, trying to turn the whole world, into one homogenized humanoid, living in the 15-minute cities and everything else. I know people are fighting back. Humanity's rising. I talk about it all the time. But I just wanted to say, because, people say, how can it be with, consciousness rising and stuff, and we seem like we're such in a place of even worse, with all that's going on with war and stuff. But, the truth is, like, it has to come to the surface so it can be eliminated. That's how I look at it. And I think, like, people start to see this stuff more and more, especially what's going on now in the Middle East and what's been going on in Russia, Ukraine for, 2 years now, or whatever. So, it's just, I think people say, like, enough's enough of all this. We're treading water. We're wasting a lot. We're not getting anywhere. We're wasting tons of money and resources to accomplish what? What is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate goal of everything we're doing in the Middle East right now? There's no goal. A quote unquote terrorist attack in Israel turns into all our Navy plus the UK and other NATO countries over there. Now we're bombing Yemen and Iran. And I mean, wait, I don't understand. These guys, Gaza, the Palestine, whatever, came in and did a terrorist attack. Well, now we're bombing all these other countries. This is like, I know they're affiliated and who supports who, but it's all bullshit, man. Because they support, on top of it, they support those type of people. Didn't I say this yesterday or the day before about Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, all these people, the United States, they put these people in power and then when they decide that they don't want to necessarily do it exactly the same way anymore, it's like, or, the agenda's done or they need to move on to something else, they turn him into a villain and kill him, just like they try to do with Trump. It's like so over the top, ridiculous the way they report on him and make it like he's this terroristic threat to the United States. It's just ridiculous. So, anyway, that's what I think about war. I think war is ridiculous. It makes no sense to even have a mindset to engage in such a behavior. If there's a disagreement, there's always going to be disagreements with humanity. You're going to tell me there's not a better way to work it out. And who are people, like, leaders or whatever, who are people to think they have ownership over land and God's earth? It's just like, take it easy. We're all here to enjoy and have, the experiences, and, the world is for all of us equally, not for just whoever wants what little piece of land they're trying to protect, or what resource they're trying to get out of it, or what agenda they're trying to keep as far as, maintaining, financial status and such. So just know out there, when you see all this going on, it's all a big show. I'm not sure, I'm going to get into the details of, what means what and who's good, who's bad, all the kind of, I'm not going down those rabbit holes, but the point is, if you're seeing it and it's a mainstream story and it's on the news, it's bullshit, plain and simple. And they're not telling you the truth of what's going on for sure. And, the real meaning behind the actions are far different from the narratives that they express to us through mainstream media. So that's what I got for you here today on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being here on a happy, beautiful Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day out there. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. I love each and every one of you out there, individually as well as a group. God bless you. And until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.